Good morning. I'll wait just a minute, let you all join me here. Here you come. I see y'all jumping in. I tried something different this morning. I usually do these from my phone, and I tried doing it from my computer, and it kept telling me, it let me schedule the live in advance, which is good, gives us a reminder, and it kept telling me that it was live, but I wasn't live on my computer, so I don't know what was up with that. So I guess I'll keep doing it from my phone as long as I'm still working. As soon as I retire, I can do it from my laptop because it will let me do that, which I know y'all don't care about. I'm just rambling. I'm waiting a couple of minutes, or a minute, for you to join me so we can have this chat this morning. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'm still in depression over my Cowboys losing. It was just sad. It broke my heart. And so now I really don't even care who wins. I hope your team wins, whoever your team is. Good morning, Linda and Barbara and Cheryl and Teresa and all of you coming in. It's scrolling faster than I can keep up with. Let me do the announcements first and get those out of the way, and then I'll try to remember to do them at the end because I know people will be joining us. So somebody try to help me remember to repeat the announcements. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, today is the very last day to order the t-shirts that are tagged, I believe, in the announcements at the top of the Facebook group page. So if you haven't, if you've been putting off and you want to order one, obviously not a requirement, it's just something that we have there for fun. Some of us wear them to our meetings, some of us wear them when we go out exercise and take our pictures, whatever. So that's there if you're interested. I believe today's the last day to order those though. Don't forget the walk challenge is going on that a couple of the moderators are hosting. And so if you're walking and taking pictures of your beautiful walk, be sure and look into that. The 100-day challenge is going on today, I believe. For some of us, it's day 14. Those of us who jumped the gun. For others, it's day 13. I hope you're digging in, and I hope you're doing well. I'm happy with my results so far. My goal, my weight loss goal, was to lose 1 pound every 10 days, and so far I'm on track. I'm exercising every day. I'm getting in devotion time. All of the goals I set for myself so far are doing well. I hope you can say the same thing. If not, dig in. It's not too late to join us. If you're new to the group, what I'm talking about is we started on January 2nd, a 100-day challenge. Everyone sets their own goals. I don't care what your goals are, that only matters to you. So set some goals for yourself and dig deep for the next 87 days left of the challenge and see if you can reach those goals. You'll at least get closer than if you weren't trying. One more reminder, and then we'll get into today's subject. We do not allow videos in our group unless they are under 30 seconds and unless they are of you, not someone else, you promoting exercise activity of some type. Please don't post links to someone else's YouTube page where they're exercising. They will be deleted. The reason we don't allow videos is because we try very, very, very hard to keep this a safe environment, and in order to ensure that that video is safe requires a moderator to watch it, and they would spend all of their time watching those videos. So that's a rule. It's in the rules that you read and agreed to when you joined the Facebook group. Speaking of that, we also do not allow promotions of other Facebook groups for the same reason. We are very protective of you, and so those will also be deleted. You cannot sell. You cannot ask a member to private message you so that you can sell to them, blah, blah, blah. You get it. So those are my announcements for the day. Okay, my teaser, I told you, my subject today was going to be my blank pound life. As you can probably imagine, while I've been getting in my treadmill work for the last few days, I was flipping channels one night and came across a show, and many of you have seen it. I had not, but I stopped on it and watched it while I was getting in my hour on the treadmill. This particular show is called My 600-Pound Life, and like you, probably, if you're being honest, my first reaction was almost shock. Not necessarily at the individual's weight, although that was heartbreaking. My shock was what I heard coming out of their mouths and coming out of the mouths of their caretakers or their enablers, and how similar what they were saying is to what we say. That's what I want to talk about today. So here's some of the things I heard. I hope you have a pen and paper, because I hope what you'll do is, if you hear me say something that you think, oh my, I've said that, I want you to write that down, okay? I want you to make a list. So let's go through some of these. I don't really know how much I weigh. I've seen three of the episodes now, and every one of them greatly underestimated their weight. They had their head in the sand. They didn't know. Here's another one, and I bet most of you will have to write this one down. I sure did. They don't really know how much they're eating. They think they have a pretty good idea, but they don't really know how much they're eating. When the doctor asked them, how did you get to this place? Most of them would say this. You ready to write? Okay. I don't really eat that much. Guilty. I mostly snack. Guilty. I eat sweets every now and then, but not too much. Guilty. I don't really cheat. I pretty much stay with what I should be eating. I don't really understand why I'm gaining. Guilty. I don't eat between meals. I just eat 3 meals a day, and my body just keeps putting on more weight. Sound familiar? Okay, let's look at reality, because we've watched them. We've watched the cameras follow them. Can you imagine if cameras were following you for a couple of weeks and showing the world your real, true eating habits? Here's what we see. This is reality. Their words were, I don't eat much. The reality is they're eating way more than they realize. I mostly snack. They're grazing all day. I don't really eat that much. Their portions are grossly exaggerated. I get these are extreme, but do you see where I'm going? We tell ourselves one thing and reality is another. I don't eat sweets very often, except maybe those cookies or that ice cream or that candy that nobody was watching, because it doesn't count if nobody sees it, right? How about this? How about the hidden food in the drawer or in the car or in my desk at work, or the candy bar I bought at the grocery store checkout line and I ate it before I got home and threw the paper away? How about this? Would others say this about you? Because this is what some of the caretakers that I've watched had to say. Well, I don't tell them not to eat that because they get mad and angry. Or, because here's what I was thinking as I'm walking on the treadmill: stop bringing them that food. Stop giving them that food. You're killing them. And then the caretaker said, if I don't, they're in a really bad mood. So I just kind of go along with it. Am I that way? If I don't get my way with eating, is that what my husband would have to say? Well, if I don't let her eat the ice cream, she's just in a really bad mood. So how about this? The weight came on so gradual that they're just in denial. They didn't gain 20 pounds all at once. It was a half a pound at a time, a few ounces at a time, until all of a sudden. Do you think that those people just overnight reached the place where they are? And again, I get these are extreme cases. Most of us are nowhere close to that. But they started somewhere. They started losing control somewhere. They started making excuses at some weight. They started justifying their bad decisions hundreds of pounds ago. I realize that most of us will never, ever, ever reach that size, but we could. One of the folks that I watched had enormous, I believe it was called lymphedema. Okay, I wasn't really familiar with that, but the doctor explained to this lady that in her case, not all cases, so please don't get mad at me if you suffer from lymphedema and it's for a different reason. In her case, he said it was either caused by or made worse by the fact that she had gained so much that the fat had nowhere else to go. What are we doing to our bodies with our excuses and our justifying and our hiding and our minimizing and our giving ourselves permission? What are we really doing to our bodies? In one case, it took so much longer and such greater risk to save this man's life. He was suffering from a gallbladder attack and didn't realize it for days because he was so used to being in pain and miserable. He finally got to the hospital, and the surgery to save his life was so much harder, and the recovery was so much harder because of what he had done to his life up to that point. Now, if you're like me, when we look at cases like this, we think, okay, they just need to get a grip. They need to get it under control. They need to stop making excuses. They need to stop enabling. They need to. And then I had I have a mirror on the right side of my treadmill at home. TV's on the left side of me, mirrors on the right side. So I'll confess to you, I'm walking along and I'm watching the show and I'm saying all of those things. Oh my goodness, they need to stop doing that. And they need to stop. And they need to stop. And I glanced over and saw me in the mirror and thought, and you need to stop. I need to stop. You need to stop. We need to stop making excuses. We need to stop giving ourselves permission to do things that are destructive to our health. Yeah, the chocolate cake's good, but do you really need it? Is it going to further your health? We're not 20 anymore. We're at a place where we need to start looking at food as, how is this helpful to my health and longevity? How is this going to keep me active so that I don't have to have someone come physically take care of me? How is this going to make my quality of life better? Am I saying you can never have chocolate cake? Heavens forbid, no. But what I am saying is you don't need to have chocolate cake just because it's Tuesday. It needs to be a treat. It needs to be a special occasion when we give ourselves permission to have something other than the food that we need to fuel our body and to make us more active. One thing that, here's some things that sometimes, some places I think we have to get to before the change will really come. I think we have to face the scale. These folks didn't have any idea how much they really weighed until they get to this particular doctor's office. And of the 3 I've watched, all 3 of them stepped up on the scale and were disappointed and saddened, and in some cases horrified at the number that they saw, because they had been telling themselves it was completely different. So sometimes we have to just face the scale. Get on the scale, look at the number, find out where we are, and go from there. But ignoring it, how's that working? It doesn't. Okay, we also have to face the kitchen scale. Weigh your food. I can't stress that enough. Weigh and measure your food. Living in denial. Again, I watched these 3 people, even after that, you know, they go to the doctor. If you haven't seen the show, they go to the doctor. He puts them on this very restrictive diet. These are people who are used to eating 8,000 to 10,000 calories per day. That's a lot of food. They don't think they're eating that much. They really don't. So he puts them on this restrictive diet where they're supposed to be counting their calories, and they go home and I'm thinking, okay, now they're going to really get in it and they're going to start losing. They fix their plate for the first, while, and they're still putting on piles of food. It's different food to some extent, but it's still huge portions. And I'm thinking what a difference it would make if you just used a measuring cup or a scale. And I'm guilty of that. I bet you're guilty of that. I think I know how much that is. And then I weigh it or I measure it and I think, oops, that's a little more than I thought it was. That's more than I have been tracking. Face the scale. The bathroom scale and the kitchen scale. You don't have to do it every single time, although it doesn't hurt. It doesn't take any amount of time. Keep those scales out on the counter. And while you're fixing your plate, weigh it. While you're dishing out, instead of using a spoon, use the measuring cup to dish it out. Then you know for sure how much to track. You know exactly how much you're eating. Knowledge is power. Face the gym. Whether it's a physical gym or it's your home gym. Get busy, get active. Every single one of those people, the 3 that I've watched, One was completely bedridden. She could not even get out of bed to go to the bathroom. Most of us are not in that shape. We can do something. The other two didn't think they could do anything. But the physical therapist that the doctor sent to their house had them doing, they would hold a stick and do arm raises. Or they would raise their feet up off of the bed. Or they would sit in the chair and do leg lifts. Even one at a time. Any activity is better than no activity. One of my favorite sayings is do what you can until you can do more, and then do more. Stop pointing elsewhere. Stop blaming your husband. Stop blaming your coworkers. Stop blaming your partner. Stop blaming your children. The buck stops with you. Hi, Diane. We're neighbors. We should meet for coffee sometime. You can't blame anyone else. Nobody is putting food in your mouth. You are. Own it. As I said before, stop justifying and stop making excuses. I'm all about giving yourself a little grace on a birthday or a holiday or a wedding, but not because it's Tuesday and not because somebody put cookies in the break room at work. So what? They're in there. Doesn't mean you have to eat them. But my husband keeps ice cream in the freezer. Okay. Doesn't mean you have to eat it. I know it's tempting. I get it. But you have to be bigger than the temptation. You can't excuse and justify bad decisions. It's still a bad decision. So as hard as that is, and I get it, there are days that it's just so hard, but it's not impossible. It's just not. And the more you exercise that muscle of willpower, the stronger it gets and the easier it is to say no. Last week I came to work and one of the attorneys had made some oatmeal cookies and had them on the bar right by our coffee machine. I love oatmeal cookies. Was it tempting? Yeah. And here's the thing. He knows I don't eat sugar. So he came by my desk and he said, hey, those cookies are sweetened with stevia. And I said, thanks. I appreciate it. But I still didn't eat them because it's not part of my plan. I'm not eating grains. Was it hard? Yeah. Could I have justified it? Yeah, because they looked really good and he was kind enough to sweeten them with stevia for me. But here's what I did. I thanked him and I stuck with what I brought to eat. Justifying a bad decision doesn't make it any less a bad decision. Justifying a cheat doesn't make it any less of a cheat. Doesn't take the calories away, doesn't take the impact on your glucose away. It's still a bad decision, and we have to stop. Stop tweaking. And you know what I mean. And I'm probably talking to you. Tweaking our meal plan to make it fit, or tweaking Weight Watchers to make it fit what I want it to be, doesn't work. Emma says she can't hear me. Can everyone else hear me? Emma, you might see if your video is muted. Well, if she can't hear me, she can't hear me say that. I don't know. I hope everyone can hear me. I'm assuming you can because I'm seeing your comments come through. Okay, thanks, Val. When I say tweaking Weight Watchers plan, let me explain, because several of you have asked me privately, and I've explained it to you. Mine is a little bit different. I had to, my computer is going crazy. Okay, I had to give up sugar because it was triggering migraine headaches. So I don't eat sugar or anything that converts to sugar that increases my glucose levels. So I don't eat grains or sugar. Is that tweaking the Weight Watchers plan? You know, I guess you could consider that, but what I'm talking about is like some of you are diabetic and so you can't eat sugar, but you're still doing Weight Watchers. Some of you are vegan, so you don't eat meat, but you're still doing Weight Watchers. Do I consider myself a Weight Watchers? Absolutely. The food list that Weight Watchers gives us is huge. And Weight Watchers never said I have to eat all of those things. It just said this is the suggested list of food. Eat from this list and you'll be fine. I do eat from that list. I just don't eat everything on that list. I have to listen to my body, and my body says if you eat sugar or you eat food that converts to sugar, you're going to have a headache. Well, it's not worth the headache to me. So I don't consider that tweaking. What I consider tweaking is saying, I'm eating the fajitas. We'll go with Mexican food because I'm Texan and, you know, that's a staple here. I'm eating the chicken fajitas, and I'm eating the clean vegetables, and I'm counting that. So I'm just going to have a few of the, I don't know why it's cutting in and out, folks. I'm really sorry. I'm not doing anything different. It must be a Facebook thing. Hopefully you'll be able to watch it back. So anyway, so I'm going to eat a few of the chips, and I'm not going to count those because it was just a few of them. Doesn't work that way. Our body tracks better than we do. Our clothes track much better than we do. Here's my final thought for you today. This is a quote for you. So those of you who collect the quotes, I write these down when I find them. So here's my quote for the day. Resolution is cheap. We just started the first of the year. Lots of us have New Year's resolutions. Resolution is cheap, but resilience is priceless. The lady I watched on my 600-pound life started at 720 something pounds, completely bedridden. She resolved to lose the weight. It started out rocky. Her enablers kept bringing her bad food. She kept eating bad food. She kept making all the excuses, but finally it clicked. Finally, the doctor got through to her. Finally, she stood up to herself and to her enablers and said, no more. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm tired of doing it my way. I'm going to do it the doctor's way. I'm going to do it the Weight Watchers way. I'm going to do it the right way. And she totally turned things around. And at the end of the show, they followed her for a year. At the end of the show, yes, she had had weight loss surgery, but and did the surgery help? Of course it helped. But you know what I really believe helped more? Her resilience. And at the end of the show, she had gone from 720 something pounds down to under 300 pounds. I realize that you're not in that lady's shoes. I realize you don't have that much to lose. But your struggles are the same. And your resolve needs to be the same. Resolution is cheap. Resilience is priceless. If you want 2019 to be your year, and I hope and pray you do, nothing would make me happier than to see thousands of you reaching goal and lifetime in 2019. And there's no reason that you can't. It's going to require resilience. It's going to require saying no. It's going to require saying, thank you, maybe later. I'm not hungry right now. It's going to require you being stronger. Nobody else on this board has any more ability than you do. Me included. You can do it if you'll do it. I hope you'll write a note and put it where you can see it. Here's what I want you to write. Maybe put this on your refrigerator or on your lunchbox or on your desk or maybe all of those places. Here's what I want you to write. Let me see if I can. I know this is going to be backwards, but hopefully you'll get the idea. My blank pound life. You fill in the blank. What's that number going to be? Is it going to keep getting higher? Or is it going to start coming down? Is it going to be a number that you're happy with? Or is it going to be a number that makes you incredibly sad? It's your choice. Nobody can do it but you. All right? Let me do the announcements again real quick for those of you who just jumped on. T-shirts, today is the last day, I believe. If you want to purchase one, it's on the top post in the group. The walking challenge is ongoing. Take pictures of the scenery where you're walking and post those. We love seeing the beauty of nature across our beautiful world. So share those with us. The 100-day challenge is ongoing. When you post, use the hashtag 100-day challenge, and that helps us all find it. And then remember, no videos, no promoting other Facebook groups, and no selling any products. Those will get deleted, and if you do it again, it could result in you getting removed from the group. I get messages frequently from somebody, I can't get in the group anymore. Well, that's probably why. So I think that's it. I'll try during the day as I can at work to go back and read your post and answers your questions. You are always welcome to private message me if you have a question, and I'll do my best to answer it as quick as I can. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful week. Good morning, sister girl. I hope you make good choices, and I hope you do something good for you. It's an easy word, but it's hard to say. No. Practice. It gets easier. All right? I think that's it. I'll see you on the board. Bye.